Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today from the Fitchburg Police Department. It is our friend Ned. It's been a while, buddy. How have you been?
Been busy, Jeremy.
You have been really busy. I know that for a fact. But we have actually seen you out at a lot of community meetings, and which I think is a really cool thing that the police department's been doing this year. Tell us a little bit about the community meeting format and what the goals are this year to get out to the public.
Absolutely. So one of our initiatives for 2023 is the idea of hosting a community meeting on a monthly basis. And the way we decided to split those up were by our new police districts. So with the town of Madison attachment late last year, we divided up the city in a slightly different way based on population and some geographic features to allocate patrol officers to various parts of the city. So we are hosting one meeting every month and rotating through our 4 police districts with the goal of sharing a lot of information about the department and about what's going on in each of those districts. And then one of the biggest components of those is having an opportunity for community members to provide feedback, ask questions, share concerns, but really being accessible in person. You know, we've done so much virtual online activity, but this is really about getting everybody in the same room and having the opportunity to talk about concerns and issues and learn about what's going on in the community.
Yeah, they've been well attended and great time to ask a lot of questions. What are some of the common questions that you're getting so far from the different districts?
So I think everyone has some similar questions as it relates to what kind of trends are going on crime-wise and public safety issues. You know, we continue to hear concerns about property crime, some concerns about gun violence. I think really people are coming with an open mind to learn about the challenges. There's a lot of conversation nationally and locally about staffing, recruiting, and retention personnel. And so we kind of give a high level overview of what's going on in our department as it relates to staffing and what that really translates down to. I think people are shocked to hear some of the stats as it relates to the fact that sometimes and very frequently now with our staffing that we have as few as 4 officers patrolling 35 plus square miles and responding to some pretty intensive calls for service. So it's just a good opportunity to talk when there's not an emergency, share information and really educate on both sides.
Absolutely. And if people do want to get in contact with you, Ned, they missed the meeting or maybe they have follow-up questions, what are you telling folks to stay in contact with you and share information?
We have a special webpage that we have the police district map, so you can actually find out which police district you're in. And I should put a disclaimer out there too. People are welcome to attend any meetings. You don't have to live in the district. We're not checking IDs at the door, but we invite anyone to come. And we share contact information. I mean, email, phone, you know, we're accessible all the time, and we'll try to follow up in a timely fashion to share those concerns. And I still encourage people. We have the website has a ton of options to share concerns via the request tracker, and you know, but always pick up the phone and we'll try to answer your question the best we can.
Fantastic. And if you have missed any of those meetings, we do, I've been taping those meetings, so you can go back and watch those through Fact TV. Just go to the website, fitchburgwi.gov. Ned, turning our attention to stolen vehicles over the weekend. I know it pertained to specific models of vehicles, but overall, what's the status on the stolen vehicles as far as we are today?
Sure. So last summer and into the fall, Dane County as a whole experienced a trend as it relates to the trend that came out of Milwaukee was where this was really born, but there's a known vulnerability with quite a few models of Hyundais and Kias really manufactured in the last 10 or 11 years, where there's a known vulnerability with how the ignition works. And this circulated on social media how to steal these cars, and involves smashing the window and then getting access to the steering column. So we saw a wave of that activity last year that was seen around the county and the state, and then it kind of slowed down. And then over the weekend, last weekend, Friday night into Saturday morning, we had 5 cars that were stolen in our north neighborhood. in the area of Pike Drive, Leopold Way. And then another car, they smashed the window and attempted to steal the car, but were not successful. Almost all those cars were recovered that same morning in the same neighborhood. And what we believe, based on information from other agencies and communities here, is that at least one of those cars was then used to get down to another area and commit some more property crimes. So the one message that we have for everyone, really, if you have one of those cars that's identified as being vulnerable, there's physical security measures that you can take with a steering wheel lock. But then both Hyundai and Kia, there's been a lot of attention on this issue. But the one response that they've had is that they are in the process of rolling out software updates that supposedly will mitigate the chance that these cars can be stolen in this way. So check in the websites of both of those manufacturers, have information. It's a slow rollout of this software, but learn about it and take advantage of it when you can. And the other message too, related to this trend of stolen autos, is that one stolen car in Fitchburg can then impact the entire county, because it allows someone that's interested in stealing things to get from one area of Dane County to another in a matter of minutes. And so we really encourage people to take whatever steps they can to prevent auto theft.
And reporting it too. We still spend a lot of time talking about reporting suspicious activity in the area, even if you're past the day and maybe you were in with one of these neighborhoods, you have some security footage, you have something. You'll take tips anytime to help stop what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll often be out looking for video evidence, doorbell cameras, home surveillance systems. We'll be out looking for that type of thing. And then we'll find out from a neighbor that they had their car rifled through, but nothing was taken. And so they didn't feel like they wanted to report us. Or with the Hyundai and Kia trend, their window was smashed, but they just ended up dealing with their insurance company. We are interested in knowing that information as soon as possible to help us track down some of these videos or just pieces of information that may be out there, because folks may not be saving their videos for a long period of time. And so the quicker we can get that information, the better. And the natural question, and we get it, is, what's really being done about this? We try as much as possible to track information down, and we communicate with other law enforcement agencies in the county on a weekly basis, specifically on this topic. And so we're able to share a lot of information and surveillance video footage and identify people rather quickly. And so we try to do our part. And I think often a lot of frustration happens, after it leaves the police department at other levels of the justice system. But if everyone steps up and does their part, then we can hopefully have a positive impact on the problem.
Yeah, and you guys have teamed up. I'm glad you brought up the team piece of this, because you are teamed up with other municipalities, and there has been efforts globally in Dane County where groups come together of law enforcement to basically go after folks during this period of time, and it's been successful in taking down some folks that are stealing cars. So there's efforts out there. It's one of those things where you're not gonna show all your cards, of course, but the more information, the more we can get you guys. You can use that to help solve some of this stuff that continues to go on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a team effort, and everyone that lives in the community and all levels of the criminal justice system, we all play a role. So you're absolutely right. The stolen auto, the focused efforts that we've had countywide, we participate in on a regular basis. Nearly every agency has contributed in some fashion. And our goal is to not only catch people in the act, recover stolen cars, but also hopefully have some measure of deterrence to make this not such a enticing crime to take part in.
All right, Ned, I appreciate your time. If folks want to stay up to date on what's going on in the department or just have any questions for you, where can they find the information?
You can always find us on the city's website, fitchburgwi.gov/police, or find us on social media. We are on Nextdoor now as well. So if you are active on Nextdoor, keep a lookout for some informational posts coming out from us. We can't see all of your posts when you're talking about a lost cat in the neighborhood or something for sale on the corner, but we are able to put information out there to have another avenue of sharing info.
Fantastic. Ned, thank you for your time. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, Jeremy.